That time I got reincarnated as a slime is filled with characters that have made plenty of mistakes in the past, but what makes their character different is the fact that they are willing to change and make up for those mistakes. And I think there's only one character in the series that can best represent this, and it's none other than the Orc King Geld. I personally did find his story to be quite tragic, so that's why we'll be taking a look at Geld's character and also see just how powerful he truly is. As always, there will be spoilers for his character and story, so here's a spoiler warning just in case. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Tensura content in the future.
一撃で頭を割る
Now, as we all know, before Geld became one of Rimuru's subordinates, he belonged to the Orc tribe that lived on the outskirts of the Great Jura Forest. He was the son of the Orc King, but because of a drought and famine, his father was forced to venture through the wastelands to find a place for their people to resettle in the Great Jura Forest. Before he could reach the forest, he collapsed and had encountered the Margin Geld. The Margin wanted to use the Orc King as a pawn, so he offered him food and gave him a name. Because of the wicked intentions of the Margin and the desire and guilt of wanting to save his people from starvation, the Orc King became corrupted. He had acquired the unique skill Staff and evolved from an Orc King into an Orc Lord. Now filled with an insatiable hunger, the Orc Lord bestowed the effects of Staff upon his people, causing them to go berserk, but his son was the only one that still managed to retain some sense of self despite the effects of the hunger. The orcs would begin their march towards the Great Jura Forest, devouring everything in their path, and one of the earliest to fall victim to them were the ogre village that Rimuru and the others resided in. After they destroyed the ogre village, they would continue their march and set their eyes on the lizard man in the marshlands. During the battle in the marshlands, the Orc Lord would devour the Margin Geld, and it had caused him to evolve into a Demon Lord seed, becoming the Orc Disaster. Luckily, Rimuru managed to defeat the Orc Disaster and had consumed him. When he was consuming the Orc Disaster though, he made a promise to the dying king that he would take on all the sins of the orcs and forgive them for their actions. After the Orc Disaster was fully consumed, his son and the other orcs regained their senses and were all free from the effects of starved. During a post-war meeting, as promised, Rimuru forgave the orcs and even welcomed them to join the Jura Forest Alliance. Rimuru proceeded to name all the orcs, making them the fourth group of monsters to be given names by him. He also decided to give the name of the deceased Orc Disaster Geld to his son to serve as a token of appreciation and remembrance for his father. Geld was then appointed as the new Orc King, and just to clarify something, the Orc King and Orc Lord are the same titles. It's just that Orc King is an individual who still retains their sanity, whilst Orc Lord is the opposite. After naming, Geld and the other orcs evolved into high orcs, so their intelligence had increased. Their threat levels also increased, with Geld now becoming a rank A or hazard class, while the other high orcs now have threat levels ranging from C+ to B+. Additionally, Geld even received a new unique skill called Gourmet, which works like Rimuru's own gluttony skill, although not as powerful. It comes with 5 sub-skills, and the first one is called Predation, which allows Geld to absorb any targets into his body, but unlike Rimuru, Geld is only limited to targets that are about his own size. The second sub-skill is called Corrosion, and he can basically use it to corrode anything he touches or activate it when an enemy hits him. Corrosion can even affect spiritual bodies when he imbues it with the Chaos Eater sub-skill his father left for him. Then there's Stomach, which allows Geld to store anything he wants, and the capacity is similar to Rimuru's Gluttony. This skill is quite interesting because Rimuru, the orcs, and Geld are all able to access the Stomach subspace and basically share anything that they put into it whenever they want. Finally, the last two are Receive and Provide. It works exactly like Rimuru's Food Chain ability in that Geld can share his abilities with his comrades or even take it from them, but only those that are under his direct command. Having said that, because of the unique skill Gourmet, Rimuru had decided to put Geld and the other high orcs in charge of the construction and development of the Tempest Federation infrastructure. In addition to that, during wartime, Geld would be leading the Yellow Numbers, a unit that comprised of 2,000 elite high orc soldiers responsible for defense and support. When the former kingdom attacked Tempest, Geld was initially away, so he couldn't help defend the capital, but he was later asked to return by Rimuru to join the strategy meeting. During their counterattack, Geld was sent to the western side where he encountered the otherworlder Shogo Taguchi. Although Shogo had a threat level of a hazard class and specialized in hand-to-hand combat, he was unable to defeat Geld because of his high defenses, and the fact that Geld had the Corrosion and Chaos Eater skills meant that whenever Shogo landed any hits on Geld, he would be attacked by the Corrosion, so not only did Geld excel in defense but offense as well. This caused Shogo to retreat, and after consuming his comrade, he still thought he could defeat Geld, but he was an idiot and he was pummeled to the brink of death by Geld. Shogo was only able to escape because the sorcerer Razan had intervened, otherwise Geld would have chopped his head clean off. When the Falmouth army was defeated, Rimuru had started the Harvest Festival and awakened as a true demon lord. During this awakening, all Rimuru subordinates received gifts from the Voice of the World, and Geld was able to acquire another unique skill known as Protector. This new unique skill possesses 3 sub-skills, the first being Grand Protection, which allows him to give protection to those that are under his command. Then the 2 other sub-skills are Substitution and Iron Wall, which works in conjunction so that whenever any of his subordinates receive any damage, he is able to redirect that damage towards himself using his own defense, which showcases his selfless personality quite well. But besides that, several of Rimuru's skills were given to Geld as well, like the extra skill Sage, Magic Sense, Multi-Layer Barrier, Spatial Travel, Control Thought, Keen Smell, Identify Armor, Steel Strength, and Earth Manipulation. Additionally, he would also receive the normal skills Self-Regeneration and Coercion. After receiving his new skills, Geld has now reached the threat level of a Disaster class, and the High Orcs under his command had reached the rank of B+ as a result. Geld was later sent with the main Tempest force to attack the claimant forces that were in Milim's territory. Using his newly acquired Earth Manipulation, he and the other Orcs were able to create a large pit fort quickly to disrupt the enemy forces. During the battle, he would also encounter Footmen and had fought against him with the help of Phobia, but they couldn't stop Footmen, so he managed to escape. When Claimant and his forces were defeated, Geld was sent to the puppet nation Gistab to survey the land, and later he was responsible for the reconstruction of the capital city of Eurozania. Geld rarely had a chance to fight and was mostly sent away on construction and development missions, although during the Tempest Founders Festival he was called back to the city to relax, and Rimuru actually nominated him to take part in the battle tournament. During the tournament he fought against Carrion, but because of his pride as a warrior, Geld did not use any of his skills and chose to fight Carrion with his own body. They both managed to fight hand to hand on equal footing, and Geld only lost because he was pushed out of the ring by one of Carrion's secret techniques. The fact that Geld managed to take on an ex-Demon Lord's strongest attack was still standing really showed how strong his defenses were, and if he had used his skills in battle, the outcome would have been very different. Having said that, when the Eastern Empire had attacked the Labyrinth, Geld was mainly charged with leading the yellow numbers to defend the other units and to stop the Eastern Empire soldiers from leaving the Labyrinth. But it's noteworthy to mention that when the yellow Primordial Carrera had fired one of her nuclear magic Gravity Collapse, it managed to turn 80% of the Eastern Empire soldiers who had threat levels ranging from rank A- to A+ into dust, while Geld and his troops were still able to withstand the shockwave without flinching. It's just a testament to their superior defensive capabilities. But anyways, after the first wave of the Eastern Empire attack was stopped, Rimuru held a reward ceremony to awaken those who were worthy into true Demon Lords, and just like his father who had the Demon Lord seed, Geld was eligible to awaken into a true Demon Lord as well. Although when it was Geld's turn to receive the reward, he was afraid of losing control after awakening, but after Rimuru managed to convince him, he accepted the 100,000 souls needed and the title of Barrier Lord. Before Geld went into an evolutionary sleep, he was also given a set of legendary equipment that they recovered from the Eastern Empire soldiers, and the equipment would evolve into the mythic grade when he eventually awakens as a true Demon Lord. When the Eastern Empire attacked for the second time, Geld was mostly absent, although he did awaken later as a true Demon Lord, becoming a greater Chaos Spirit and Earth Spirit Ball. He didn't really take part in the battle and was mainly tasked with defending the city and minimizing the damage. However, when Dino betrayed Rimuru and Remerus, 2 of his comrades, the former Primordial Angels Pico and Gracia, had attacked the Labyrinth. Geld was able to fight against Gracia, and according to Dino, it seemed like Geld was able to evenly match Gracia in terms of strength. Dino even said that Geld's defensive and regeneration abilities were so powerful that Gracia's attacks were barely enough to kill him. However, Geld and Gracia's battle ended abruptly because Dino and his comrades were ordered to retreat, so there was no conclusion to the battle, but I would say Geld might actually have a chance to win against her. Moving on, when Rimuru acquired Seal, the evolved version of Wisdom King Raphael after his battle with the True Dragons, he approached Geld and asked if he wishes for Seal to alter his existing skills. Of course, Geld accepted Rimuru's offer, so Seal worked her magic, sacrificing his existing skills to create the ultimate gift, Gourmet King Beelzebub. Although it's a lesser version of Rimuru's Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony, it's still strong enough to let Geld compete with other individuals who possesses ultimate skills. Like other ultimate level skills, his new ultimate gift had consolidated all of his existing skills to become sub-skills, and even evolved some of them, so here are the skills. The first skill is Thought Acceleration, then Magic Sense evolved to become Universal Perception, Coercion had evolved into Demon Lord Haki, Self-Regeneration evolved into Ultra Speed Regeneration, and all the sub-effects from his unique skill Gourmet like Predation, Stomach, Corrosion, Receive and Provide were incorporated as well, and he even received one of Rimuru's skills, Isolation, as a sub-skill. Besides that, the sub-effects of Iron Wall, Grand Protection, and Substitution from his unique skill Protector were absorbed into the ultimate gift as well. The last few skills to be added were Spatial Travel, which had evolved into Spatial Manipulation. There was also Multi-Layer Barrier, Keen Smell, and finally Identify Armor and Steel Strength were both combined to create the sub-skill Full Body Armor. According to Rimuru, with his new ultimate gift along with his mythical grade equipment, his defenses have become so strong that he could possibly fight and even hold off the 3 Phantom Commanders without worry. Now obviously with this boost in power, Geld is part of the Super Awakened class, so including skills and equipment, he has an existence value of around 2,380,000. So yeah, that's everything on the Barrier Lord Geld so far, the ultimate tanker of the Tempest Federation, and we'll have to wait for volume 20 of the light novel to really know how strong he has truly become. That said, despite Geld's large and monstrous appearance, I think he's probably one of the sweetest characters in the series. He cares deeply for others and would always put the safety of others before him. Seeing how he truly regretted his actions and how far he has come is definitely heartwarming. And come on, I think his interactions with the Children of Tempest, especially the little goblin girl in Tensura Nikki, is wholesome as fuck. Anyways, what are your thoughts on Geld, and do you agree with me that he's a really sweet guy? I would love to hear them in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, feel free to give the video a like, subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell for more Tensura and other anime content in the future. As always, thanks for watching and stay safe everyone.